before any of this happened, I've always had a very strong moral compass, and I take things quite seriously. I guess I take responsibility very seriously, and I think these gifts they're precious gifts, but I think that they also come with responsibilities. I think that you're given an opportunity to learn things and to know things, perhaps in advance, or I just think it's important to use your gifts with integrity, to use them for the right reasons, for the greater good of others, to not to abuse them, not to use them in the wrong way. One of the guides that was helping me a couple of years ago, I tried to write about him in the book. And when it came to writing about him, Spirit stopped me knowing too much again. And I know they told me loads of stuff before, but when I went to clarify it, because I wanted to make sure everything that I put into the book was entirely accurate, everything was something that I knew, I hand on heart, everything I've put in this book is all true. It's, I'm happy with sharing all of it because I believe in it all. I wanted to clarify something, and they wouldn't confirm it for me, and it was the way he died. Because actually what I wanted to share was he'd been killed in a tsunami, and I believe I know which one, but they didn't want me to write it in the book, and that was obviously because somebody could read the book that knew him that would be upset by reading that. And I knew as soon as they wouldn't answer, I knew why they wouldn't answer, and I don't even challenge it. If I'm not given it, then I'm not given it for a good reason, and I just trusted that. I was quite happy with them saying, we can't tell you that. Even though I know I'd known it before, I just wanted to double check it for inclusion. And I thought, no, okay, that's one that is better off not shared. I just think sometimes when you're told things, I just think that's such an important quality to have to, you're for me, I'm serving. I'm a conduit between spirit and here, and it's important that I use that carefully and for the right reasons and for the for the good of somebody else. You can know things, you have to phrase things appropriately as well, don't you? Sometimes you're going to get messages through that maybe are difficult for someone to hear, and you just have a responsibility of making sure that you deliver that appropriately, that you're looking after them, you're thinking of how the impact this is going to have on them and how to share this. So yeah, that's kind of in line with what you were suggesting about. I think I mentioned that in the bio. Anyway, the using your gifts with integrity.
Yeah, and you know what? I completely agree with you, because there are too many people out there that use them for the wrong reasons versus the right reasons.
Yeah. Yeah, I went to a spiritual church once. A lady there said something that I thought was lovely, and she said, "This isn't about fortune telling after all," she said. "This is about bringing comfort to those who are grieving." And I thought, what a lovely way to put it. I really liked that. I liked that a lot.
So we have 2 questions for you from the chat room. Okay. First question is, what is the one thing that everyone needs to know or be told, giving what you know?
I think for me, it's particularly if you're a parent of psychic children, it first and foremost to believe them, to be someone they can talk to about it, to not shut it down, to not dismiss it. I mean, as I said before, I've met so many psychic mediums who were not believed. They were even taken off to the local priest in the church to have it sort of taken out of them. It wasn't believed, it wasn't welcome. They felt it was sinful or shameful, and that had a long-lasting effect. Many of them took years before their abilities could come back again. And I think these children have gifts to offer us. They're bright shining lights in this world that needs more light, and I think we just need to give them the opportunity to shine. So not shut it down, just be there to talk to them about it, be open to it as best as you can. So I guess that's my biggest piece of advice, is just to talk to them and be someone they can come to and feel comfortable talking to about it.
Absolutely. And you just answered the next question, because the next question was, what is the one bit of wisdom do you have regarding raising children to be more psychic?
To be more psychic, I guess. I mean, I don't do anything with the children to develop their gifts. I just let them be themselves. I guess I just give them the space to be who they are, and I trust that their gifts will come forward if that's meant to be. And, you know, if they're comfortable with them, if they want to use them, which I'm sure they do, you know, then I think that will come as long as an environment's provided in which it's, you know, they're comfortable doing so. They're not going to hide it from you.
Yeah. There are like different ESP tests and stuff. People can give their children if they were inclined.
Mm-hmm.
When I was a kid, my mother tried different tests with us to see if we had any abilities. There's like, well, of course, Zener cards, but you can also take a deck. You have the red cards and the black cards face down, and then the person tries to feel with their hand the warm of the red and the cold of the black and identify if the card is red or black. Stuff like that. Or like she would hang like a necklace from a doorknob, you know, with something at the end of it, and then we could sit there and see if we can get that to move at all with our minds. Just little things like that. And, you know, not that she was trying to, you know, influence us, but, you know, she was aware that some people do have abilities, and she was curious, you know. And when I look back at it, it was actually a pretty cool thing. But, you know.
Yeah, I think, I mean, most of the development work, well, all of the development work really has been on me, because they already knew a lot of this stuff. It was me that was in the dark. And so that's the other piece of wisdom I would say is, you know, we're not always going to have the answers ourselves as their parents. And we're not, you know, not all children with gifts are going to be born into families who understand and know all of this. Obviously, many are. But it's not always the case. And if you don't have the answers, then it's really just a question of finding contacts who can help you. You know, there'll be another expert who can answer that for you. So just having contacts that you can go to when you need to get the help that you might need, I think is going to be enormously helpful, rather than being isolated, which we were. To be fair, we were isolated. We didn't get that help because we weren't on the internet. As in, I didn't use social media, and I didn't have a community around me that I could talk to about it. So we've kind of learnt on our own, really.
Okay, everybody.
I say on our own. Obviously, there's an army of spirit there helping us, but, you know, on our own with living people.
Okay, everybody. And with that, it is time for our next commercial break. You are listening to Paraversal Universe. We will be right back with our guests for the next segment.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting, the best in paranormal talk, only on Paranormal Experience Radio. Broadcasting live out of Birmingham, Alabama. Since 1948, Fate Magazine has brought you reports of the strange and unknown, all of them true. Fate Radio is carrying on that tradition, bringing you the unusual, macabre, strange, and bizarre. Join host Kat Hobson Sunday nights from 8 to 10 p.m. Eastern on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
Son of a...
Hey, son.
Mother...
Son? What are you doing?
Hey, Mom. I'm getting ready to listen to Periscope Uncensored.
By expanding your vocabulary.
Well, it is uncensored.
Son, the uncensored part of Periscope Uncensored is Jax and I getting down to brass tacks with all aspects of the paranormal. There's no fluff on our show.
So, no off-color commentary?
I didn't say that.
Awesome! What?
Son?
I just hit my head.
Oh boy. I'll go get you an ice pack. Catch Periscope Uncensored Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on WBHM Digital Broadcasting.
You are listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting. The best in paranormal talk radio.
Oh, come on. I'm Southern, but... nope. That'll do. Hello. I am Kat Hobson, host of Paranormal Experience here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. I enjoy having guests from all areas of the paranormal, from ghosts to ufology to cryptids and beyond. You'll find some of the best researchers in their fields bringing you some great information. Join me on Wednesday nights from 8 to 10 p. Eastern here on WBHM Digital Broadcasting. Thank you for listening to WBHM Digital Broadcasting out of Birmingham, Alabama. The time is 23 minutes after the hour.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back from our commercial break. This is Paraversal Universe, produced by WBHM Digital Broadcasting. Also heard on WCET-FM, the Rift Radio Network, and Amelia Pisano Productions. We're your hosts, Kevin and Jennifer Malek. Before we get back to the interview, let's take a quick moment to specifically mention the AM/FM terrestrial radio stations who carry Paraversal Universe, including WCET, which is 101.7 FM out of Columbia, South Carolina, and High Point Radio, 100.5 FM and 1620 AM out of New Jersey, which broadcast in New York, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and some parts of West Virginia. Hello to all of you who are tuning in on the airwaves. Thank you so much, and we are always glad you are with us. This segment is brought to you by the Parasociology like page on Facebook. Parasociology is the study of how paranormal manifestations and experiences can affect a family, group, or collective. Parasociology also examines how spirituality is practiced in different cultures. So go check that out and leave a like for future content. All right, back to the show. This is Paraversal Universe, and we are speaking with intuitive Claire Waters, author of Raising Faith. Claire, are you still with us?
I'm here, Kevin. Hi.
Hi. All right. So there is a something else I wanted to ask you about. And this would be, I guess, regarding both you and your children. And that would be the idea of trans-channeling. And we were talking about protection before. And trans-channeling is one of them things where many feel it's dangerous. Is that something that has come up yet?
No, tell me more. Tell me more what you mean, and then I can talk.
Trans-channeling is when a medium opens themselves up and allows another spirit to come in to their being and speak through the body. And during that time, the medium is not aware of anything.
Yeah.
So that when the session is done, someone else has to tell the medium what happened because they cannot recall it because they were not there for it, because they were temporarily disposed, so the entity could talk through the person.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not come up for us. I mean, I've certainly read some of my favorite books actually are channeled in that way. Are you familiar with the White Feather books?
No, I'm not, actually.
They're beautiful books, really lovely. I think it's Robert and Amanda Goodwin, and I think it's Robert Goodwin that's the trans channeler. But yeah, they're amazing. It's certainly not something. Yeah, they're beautiful books. There's a series of them. They have some incredible messages within them. I mean, really, I learned a lot of my spiritual understanding from those books. They were so fascinating. And they were selected for me actually by the medium that was helping me at the